We're at Marcollett in the upper southeast, in between Keith and Naracoorte. Nearest town's Padthaway. I always say there's inside country and outside country. Outside country's station type country, like the massive stations up north near Broken Hill and the Kimberley, and this is inside country in that it's been improved by people or changed by people in some way in the beginning. It's been cleared and new pastures been planted. This upper southeast or mid southeast area was only developed sort of 60 years, I think it was, ago. It gets reasonable rainfall. It's quite light, sandy soils. Some of the flat country we've got that does get wet, a lot of that would have been tea tree type swamps. So that's been cleared and put pasture in that the stock can eat. Luckily, this farm, Willuka, was cleared very well in that they left a lot of trees on all the tops of the hills. So there is a lot of natural trees here. Some farms were wiped out altogether, which people now know is not as good, particularly for livestock. They need shelter and you need the natural ecosystem to work. Everyone understands more about the ecosystem now and how important that is, because if that gets put too out of balance, it won't grow good grasses and the water will get salty. This is quite a unique property in that it has the Marcollett watercourse running through it. So there's about 8 wetlands which we've fenced off as part of a government regeneration program. It's about 300 hectares, which has all been reseeded with the natural species so that it creates a properly natural environment. So that's not stocked at all. We've put the weirs in, fenced these watercourses and planted around them. So we're trying to recreate how it was when before this country was cleared. Sort of fixing some of the things that maybe have been done too aggressively in the past. These wetlands aren't designed to be full all the time. They used to flood, then fill up, and then depending on how wet the years were, dry out naturally. They're not very deep. So I think they're all dry now. You won't see any water right now, but yeah, so when they're full, we'll hold them up for a while to hold some water up because that's good for that natural environment. At Willuka, sustainability is one of the things that we focus on because we know that we need to be sustainable to be able to be successful into the future for future generations. The size is not necessarily better, it's normally rainfall and then how many stock you can run. If you're a livestock operation or if you're cropping, you need good enough dirt to be able to crop well, and obviously the rainfall goes with that. Water is the #1 priority in any livestock business. They can live without food for a while, but they definitely can't live without water for a while, particularly cattle. We do fertilise. We don't fertilise the entire property every year. It is obviously a very expensive thing to do. However, it is recognised that it is required to get the best production out of the grass, so we do it on the best areas that are growing the best species of grass. And then we have a long-term plan to try and improve some of those lesser good species. We've done a number of different things. We've done some single super, and then we've done some more non-traditional fertilisers which have got something called Calsap, which is a calcium-based product which helps to bring the balance of the soil back, and it allows, it's a liquid mix fertiliser which allows you to put the trace elements that are missing from the different places back in, and that's particularly good for livestock health. This is a relatively intensive farm, even though it's a large-scale operation. It's not run like a station would be up north where they get them in twice a year with helicopters and things. We have a number of paddocks and we know where our stock are. So we rotationally graze, so we move the stock around. So in the old days, they used to saddle up all their horses over there and head out with teams of 10 people to do the mustering, whereas now we have 4-wheel motorbikes, which are obviously quicker. With gates, there's a particular kind of gate called a lift up. It's just the fence which lifts up on a pole. You don't need to have extra strainer posts, so they're cheap, and they're also very good for getting large mobs of stock through without having to jam into a small area, and they help to not get any soil erosion around a little gateway. We have quite a complicated mapping program, whereas the entire property's on this program map, so we can click on any paddock and it says how many hectares it is, and all the pipelines are written on there and all the gates are written on there, which obviously makes things easier.